Yo, what up? This your boy Soulo. Now we back here again with another one. We about to play some shit called Watery Reflection of my collaborated effort with MOONY MERCURY. It's called Mirrors. It's available on all streaming platforms. Go check it out. All tracks is fire. The art cover is fire. The sounds, the production is fire. This is some high quality shit. No industry can match. Shout out to MOONY MERCURY.
Looking back, I'm self-reflecting. In the current, self-projecting. These my watery reflections. These my watery reflections. In the current, still self-projecting. I act that way on purpose. It's my full intention. You fools always switching. That's why you inauthentic. Internal is exposed to my external. You ate the bait up. My character's a fucking fisher. Caught him in a lie like a fucking fishnet. Still I just forgive them. Catch and release they bitch ass. Yeah, but I won't forget it. Like your first time fishing, that's a distant memory. Like your first time producing, shout out Fisherman Larry. R.I.P. Miller, the dead forever cherished. Rip X, they stopped a generation from getting out depression. The government is tainted. Learn to never trust the words they're saying. Always check the actions and point out all the acting. Learn to play the game and not get played with. Learn to bring something to the table. Learn that you too can be creative. It takes a lot of patience, dedicated greatness. These my watery reflections. Looking back, I'm self-reflecting. In the current, self-projecting. These my watery reflections. These my watery reflections. These my watery reflections. These my watery reflections.
Man, that whole album is fire. Top quality shit right here. So I'm gonna get into the topic. So today's topic is gonna be you can only meet yourself as deep as you can only meet the other person as deep as you meet yourself. And what I mean by that is everything that you learn throughout life, your experiences, and how deep you went within yourself, and how you use your spiritual tools, your mind and your emotions, and all these, elements that makes us who we are and how we experience life. Everybody has a different way of utilizing these chakras, or our mind, our emotions, how we choose to dwell into our pleasures, what we think about. And we all share the same environment, we all share the same body, flesh, but our spirits is in different spaces. And our spirit is also different in ways where we can become experienced in things and aware of things much faster than others, based on evolution and things of that nature. So now all humans can be the same. It doesn't matter, what that quote is. Nobody's better than anybody. That's true. We don't shame or judge people, but there's times we have to judge things correctly so we can do things better in a more morally fashioned manner. So we have to judge ourselves too when it comes to the things that we don't like about ourselves or dislike, so we can change. So it's the same thing. If you judge yourself, you're trying to become a better person. So it's the same way that we need to judge others when they're doing things that are not aligned or seems morally unfit with how you see things in your point of view, where everybody can come together and agree on that. But there's a lot of things going on based on illusions and indoctrinations and shit like that. So people become accustomed and comfortable and lazy when it comes to spiritual growth, doing the right shadow work and things of that nature. So when it comes to meeting people in the same depth as you, when it comes to it can be tricky for individuals who know themselves, like myself, and other people like me. And not everybody is in that same level or magnitude of knowing themselves. So what it takes is teaching others and learning or showing your capabilities and your talent. But we live in a world where things are being controlled systematically and fucking up the algorithm, the internet, things of that nature. So there's a lot of fuck shit going on in the shadow government and people who control all these, views and likes and shares and shit like that. So these people who only care about doing things like that is like, you gotta see it this way, shadow banning was good for people and shadow banning the truth, just keeping secrets so people won't know. And that's like, basic things to know. Like, they spending all this money, our taxpayers' money, on war and shit like that, and stupid shit to uphold fast food companies and all these dumb inconveniences that we don't need, or conveniences, whatever. But they don't pay attention to things that need to be fixed, but they still paying attention to dumb shit that they're still giving attention to and spending money towards. So it's like people don't want to see it. People have this mentality of fuck it, nobody's doing it, then I don't have to do it either. But it's your responsibility to go deeper into depth and understand why things are the way it is. And once you go down that lane and thinking, then you're going into a deeper depth within yourself. And when you do that, your spirit becomes more aware and vast and able to take more information and able to experience more awareness and energy and more creativity. The more you expand your awareness, you expand your spirit, and you're able to learn more and pick up more faster than individuals who are not doing these things. So this is how you truly develop spiritual growth, and how you truly expand the environment and the universe as a spirit. You have to learn about everything about yourself, you're in the environment, why the things are the way it is, why is there a system, why we're here in the world, why is there why has the Native Americans been colonized, nobody's talking about the Native Americans, and the Native Americans fought for, the peace and the balance of this whole ecosystem reality world we live in. But we got people who are too left brain, the white people, not all white people, but the colonizers, they weren't connected to the source like that. They wasn't in spirit like that, like the Native Americans. So all these people knew was, traveling and taking. I am there. I think, therefore I am. So it becomes an ego type of thing when people don't know themselves and they get too lost in what they think. And whatever you think, whatever these people were thinking, they got lost in that feeling and emotion of ego and power, empowerment, and things of that nature. So this is what everybody is stuck in. They're stuck in a light, in an ego, in biases, indoctrinations. And people think they're just smart or whatever. When I can tell you right now, I learned all of those things. The common knowledge that we all learn is all extremely limited, and it's keeping you in a world where it's building their world. It's building the system world. It's not building for you. You might enjoy the crumbs that you make and the life that you experience with those, how you work and get the money, but life is deeper than that. You're not questioning where these things come from. Like, these things was made before you were born. You have to start with the mind and questioning these things, no matter how comfortable you are, because you can still do those things, just learn a little bit more. It doesn't hurt to learn about more of who you are and why you are on this planet. I already know I'm here. Go watch the videos, my previous videos, if you're even tapped in on that level. But once you get onto that type of level of understanding yourself and becoming more aware, it's not to say that you get lost in the ego and you start downsizing people, because it's all about an evolutionary cycle, and it's all about each one teach one type of thing. What is there to say? But yeah, you are as deeply as you can meet somebody based on how deep you meet yourself. And it's going to be different for everybody, but you know what I mean when I say this. Especially for you spiritual people who are into the spiritual stuff, and you can't resonate with people who haven't met themselves in that depth, that awareness, and how they see these energies and these, they're just too stuck in the flesh. They're lost in the flesh. This goes with all religion, all biases, all science. That shit is keeping you in the flesh, because you're not going deep enough. You're not going deep enough to see what you're doing with the mind and with your feelings. You're lost in the. If you're religious, even if you do, certain things, right, practices, you're still lost in the flesh, because you want to be, you want to be in heaven, you want to be not in hell. And that's a feeling. That's a feeling that you're all doing together as a collective in religion, or how you see Jesus. You want to be in that feeling, and that feeling is what's creating physical reality. Your spirit created an awareness, a mind, and when it created that awareness, that vision, that's what it's jumping into. Jumping into that is like a feeling and emotion. Emotions are vibrations. The awareness, the thinking is like a frequency. The timeline, the event, the idea, the awareness, whatever is traveling into, to have that image, is a frequency, is an idea. And when it's jumping into that for, when it's doing that for when it's traveling into that idea and image, it becomes dense, it becomes feelings and vibrations. And this is how the flesh is created. It becomes fluid, adrenaline, bone marrow, and flesh. Shout out to Dolo Parliament, Archangel Uriel. He's the greatest spiritual teacher, online and offline. But yeah, go check out his channel. It's Dolo the Parliament, Dolo.Parliament. So yeah, you need to understand that there's people in this reality, this world that we live in, who have an extraordinary amount of spiritual knowledge, that knows what's going on, that nobody else knows. And this is how I found out, by thinking like that. I just knew that there just had to be some type of individual or spirit that knows something. Like, you think I'm here on this planet for no reason? Like, I understand all concepts of reality, just going to school, getting a job, working, interacting with people, relationships. I just know the common awareness, interaction, reality that we're in. Like, I just know all of those things. But it's just deeper than that. It's deep and simple at the same time. Once you get deep enough, you will see how simple it is, because we're creating our reality with our minds and our feelings and emotions, and that's what's creating flesh altogether. But we live inside of God. God did it first, and now we're playing out the same thing within it, and it's expanding and updating the environment, aka nature. And we're all here to evolve and expand, and to learn with one another. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Check out the new Mirror album, MOONY MERCURY, produced by Soulo Rebel. More music on the way. Waves coming out next year, 2026. That shit is fire. The Mirror album is fire as fuck. The Waves album, instrumental album, is fire as fuck. More music after Waves is coming too. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Peace.